Next challenge is making sure that they work. So this is really important. Like I said, if you're paying them $10 an hour, you want them working every hour you're paying them. So one thing is, and the nice thing about this is, let's say you're hiring a virtual assistant to do accounting work for you. You don't really know when they're doing the accounting or when they're in the accounting application or whatnot. With sales activities, typically you know based on the phone calls they make. You can look at a phone. Uh, Basically, if you have them on a phone system, all the calls they make are going to be logged, and that gives you a very good picture of how busy they are, how many calls they're making. So I've used a number of cloud phone systems. The best one that I've used, and I've been using Ring Central for, I don't know, maybe 5 years now. It's the best one I've used in terms of quality. It's a voice over IP phone system. They give you their own soft phone. So that image on the right is a soft phone. The soft phone is a piece of software that actually downloads to your PC, which is really nice because if you're hiring a virtual assistant, you don't have to worry about buying them a phone, sending them a phone, them using their own personal cell phone. You can set up an account with Ring Central or another cloud phone provider, and it's different pricing out there. I think I pay $30 a month a phone line, but there's different options out there. And then you have them, it's like they're on your corporate phone system. Whether or not you use Ring Central for yourself, you could set a phone line up for them, and you can also use the Ring Central phone line for your interviewing as well. So let me just show you. So like the nice thing about using Sales Scripter as well is that we can just real easily use click to dial. So you have this phone number here. If you click on any phone number, it automatically dials them. So that's one way to so it can make it real easy for you to call people real quickly. And that's another thing with your sales virtual assistant is you want them to be efficient, right? So you don't want them punching into a cell phone, a phone number every time they call someone. You want them to just do a click and call someone. So you want them to be able to work quickly. But the key thing there is I can log into Ring Central and print a call log every week and see how busy someone is. There's also call recording options, so that can be real big. I mean, you can listen to their calls and hear how they sound and do coaching. So the other thing is you definitely want to use some sort of CRM for this resource. I mean, some people hire someone, they give them a spreadsheet of people to call, but it takes a lot of calls and attempts to get a hold of people, and it's really difficult to log and track who to call and who you've already called and who you need to call again in a spreadsheet. So there's free CRMs out there. There's Zoho and Sightly. Both have a free version. Salesforce is very well known. Google Docs. I often used the CRM in addition to Google Docs because I found that like creating lists in one system I used a lot was Insightly. I really liked Insightly, but it was really difficult to say, okay, to a caller, here's your campaign list of people to call. I found all these systems very difficult to create a list, so I'd give them a list of people to call in Google Docs, and then they would have their CRM with the same people loaded up so they could then make notes and whatnot. And then also, of course, Sales Scripter has a CRM as well. And so the CRM in Sales Scripter, you could certainly load up all of your accounts and contacts. Because I've built CRM to include all the things that I never had with all the other systems I used, I was real quick to create lists functionality, so you can create whatever lists you have here. So this really eliminated that Google Docs need that I had. So like for me, actually, like here's an attended webinars list. So here are all the people that have attended my webinars. Now this could easily be a list of here are cold list of prospects that don't know who we are, and your work at home person can be assigned to a particular list, and this is the list that they work down to call. The other thing is that one thing we're talking about here with the challenge of is making sure they work. And so Sales Scripter does something like no other system out there for managing productivity, which is So let me click on this contact. We have a feature called login interaction. It's similar to like log a call on most systems out there. And so login interaction on a lot of CRMs, you'll see log a call. And we took it one step further because not only is there not only do you want to log a call, but there's all sorts of different stuff you can log in the system. Maybe you email somebody, maybe you meet with someone. Well, you want to log a meeting. So you have here your different types of activities. So okay, you call someone. So there's logging the call. But what we have here are all the other things that can happen in that interaction. And so let's say we call someone, they answered the phone, and then we spoke to them, they need what we have, they asked about pricing, and they asked for a demo. We also can log objections that come up. So they said they already used someone, they can't make any changes. So what I want to point out is we're about to log this without having to type out anything, although we could certainly make notes if there's something not here. So we're going to log a very detailed note without typing a word. The other thing is that we're going to log quality points and pursuit points. So the quality points are how good or bad of a prospect they are. Because see, some of these are negative quality points. The objections are negative quality points for sure. And then we're also going to log pursuit points, which is really key to what we're talking about here, which is knowing who's working and who's not. So you can see here that pursuit points, for the different things that are found out or done or that take place, a different number of pursuit points will happen. And we can also schedule, okay, I'm going to follow up with this person in 2 weeks. I'm going to hit save. So all that will have been done pretty quickly. And what happens is then all of those details get logged on the chart for one thing, so you can see what's going on. This isn't a very pretty chart for because there was no activity here, but normally the charts are there's more going on, but you can see what's going on a chart. Here's our next task that we've scheduled for ourselves real quickly. Here's the interaction that we logged with all of those notes. We didn't type a word, and we logged all of that stuff. But the more important thing is that you can go to reporting, and you can go to this, we call that feature prospect points. So you remember I've talked about tracking points for different things. That's something I'm real big on. And so the prospect points is sort of like a game. And you can see here, this is just sort of a demo account, but you can see here these are the total quality points, pursuit points. But if this was your team, you can see, or your virtual assistant, you could see how much pursuit points do they have. And you can see on a chart, so you can see when they're working and when they're not. So this, basically, if they log every interaction they do, you're going to see a really good picture of how many calls they made, how many emails they sent, how many times certain objections came up, and you can even report on that data by everything that you logged here. So you could say how many calls were made for the last month, and pull up a report for whatever person on your team you want to pull up. So just something to keep in mind there. Again, we're talking about how to know that a virtual person's working from home, and there's a lot of tools out there to help you with that. The last tool is Time Doctor. This is a timekeeping tool, so you could use this for compensation as well. So Time Doctor allows punch in and punch out functionality, and what it also does is it also does a screen capture. So when they're logged into Time Doctor, it's going to capture their screen every, I don't know, so many seconds or whatever. So you can log into Time Doctor and see what they're working on, see what there'll be like warnings of inactivity. When they're not active, Time Doctor warns them if they should punch out or not. So I've used Time Doctor for years. It's a great tool for managing work at home people.